Well, to start out, I wrote on Undeclared, which is Judd's college show, and Jason and I became friends on that. And I wrote some of the episodes that Jason starred in, and Jason and I very early on shared an affinity for the same type of comedy. Namely, we're both obsessed with guys who cry hard. We think that's like a really funny motif in comedy, you know. And so the summer they were shooting Knocked Up, I said to Jason, I asked him what he was working on, and he said that he was working on the script. And I went to Judd and I said, if I guide Jason through the writing process, will you support me as a director? And Judd said yes. And then I somehow tricked Universal into allowing this to happen, and Jason popped off of Knocked Up, and suddenly this thing got greenlit, and then we were in Hawaii for 3 months. So
I play Peter Breder. I get my heart broken by the lovely Kristen Bell, who plays Sarah Marshall, and I go to Hawaii to clear my head, and the worst thing that could possibly happens. She's there on vacation with her new boyfriend, who is also the coolest man in the world. He's like Bono, basically. So it's disaster in paradise is how I describe it.
I play Rachel Jensen. I work at the hotel. Jason Segel's character breaks up with Kristen Bell's character breaks up with Jason Segel. He goes to Hawaii to forget about her. I work at the hotel. We start dating. We fall in love. And then it kind of creates this, love triangle, and hilarity ensues.
The character I play in the film Forgetting Sarah Marshall is called Aldous Snow. He is an English rock star, acted by me. I go there, pretend to be him for money. Any point that I stop pretending to be him, I am in breach of contract.
My character in Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a newlywed who is checking into the resort in Hawaii. And what I'm finding is I'm having problems consummating my marriage and pleasuring my new bride. So all the other stars end up helping me out.
Yeah, I mean, we cast everyone off of their ability to improv, or at least to not be thrown by improv. And so, yeah, I think improv is incredibly important for comedy because it keeps everything fresh. I think it's also very important to have a really rock-solid script when you start out. And I feel like in the end, the movie was probably 20 or 30% improv and the rest scripted in the end. But that part the stuff that made it improv, really brought it to life and made the actors kind of come alive, and we figured out some really funny stuff on screen on the day and stuff. So
no, a substantial amount of it was improvised. The films that come from the Judd Apatow camp, is my understanding, are often built around improvisation, and such was the case. Even though there was a wonderful script from which to start, a lot of improvisation took place also. Tremendous fun it were.
You improv everything. Oh yeah, you do one scene and then Nick Stoller will be like, all right, and then go off your page, and then Jason Segel over there will just start rattling crap off, and you just got to keep up. You got to keep up and stay with him, because he's brilliant. Russell Brand's brilliant. Jack McBrayer, they're all such great comedians. Kristen and I were like, okay, come on, just stay up, because it's hard, but it was really fun.
It's a very collaborative process. So, Jason, who, is a writer himself, and then, I'm a writer. Rodney Rothman, one of our exec producers, is a writer, and we were all just pitching jokes. Russell Brand and Kristen and Mila both are really good at improvising, and so we just had everyone improvising and pitching jokes. There was a certain moment where Jonah Hill's in the movie, and he just came by, said he wasn't shooting, he just wanted to pitch jokes and just pitch jokes. It was and because we were all in Hawaii, it was like a camp-like setting. So we were like, well, Jack McBrair's here for a month. Let's just throw him into something, So we would take him and throw him and stuff. So it was very fluid and exciting, and it keeps it alive, and it keeps I think the actors, and certainly keeps me interested in it. So you have to do a lot of improv.
I'll tell you what happened is I once in my younger days had a woman break up with me while I was naked. Okay. Oh yeah. And as it was happening, I'm honest to God, I could not concentrate on what she was saying, because all I was thinking was, this is the funniest thing that has ever happened. And so I saved it. I saved it up there for future use. And so then once I wrote into the script, I had assumed that it would be shot, in that Austin Powers hide the stuff kind of way. And one day Nick and I were riding in a van together, and I said, hey man, I got a question. What if I do it? What if I show the thing? And he would dismiss me. He thought it was ridiculous. And so then I brought it up to Judd, and Judd laughed hysterically, which then turned into an awkward conversation with Universal about how many times you can show it, what will it actually look like. And I'm sitting there, it's horribly uncomfortable. I also thought it would be fun to do, and it wasn't.
It's very surreal to be accepted into this group. Clearly everyone admires them, and Judd makes a great movie, and so does everyone he surrounds himself with. It feels like a very dreamy scenario to have actually been sort of inducted into that. I hope to stay and work with them in the future. and I think we made a really good film. I think Jason wrote a very sincere, three-dimensional romantic comedy that's not really like what anyone's seen before, because no one is truthfully identified as the antagonist or the protagonist. And in the vein of like Knocked Up, everyone really has their problems, and nobody's good or completely good or bad. It's a very true relationship drama. But then again, there's like, the comedy comes out of playing a little bit into the stereotype for me, because she's an actress, and maybe it's not as truthful, but playing a little bit bitch and a little bit ditzy, and Russell clearly playing like the rock star, a little bit just sort of like carefree and unaware, and Mila playing a little bit more of the tomboy, and Jason playing a little bit more of like the sappy boyfriend. Like, those are the sort of pushing the limit qualities, but underneath it's a completely sincere love story of people just trying to find each other.
How you prepared?
Oh, no. Wow, this is going to get interesting. I just wanted to feel very comfortable. And the crew was very nice. When I showed up, they were all wearing, they were wearing T-shirts that looked like they were naked. So I kind of had the illusion that everyone was naked, which certainly helped. Yeah, but, I mean, I felt more uncomfortable for Kristen and Mila, who had to act with that distracting them, because, it's distracting.
Oh, see, look, guess who talks the most? No one else. Everyone's done. Pay to it. Do it. It's worth it. Yep. I talk fast and I talk furious. Everyone's so funny, and I get the giggles really easily, and so it was very difficult for me to get it together. I bite the inside of my tongue to try to not laugh.